What are you doing, Doug?
All right, this is recording. What are we listening to right now?
Some lo-fi. I don't think it has like.
Lo-fi hip hop kind of stuff.
I don't think it has any copyright issue or anything on it.
I mean, yeah, it's fine. I doubt anyone can.
All right, guys,
hear the lo-fi.
and we are.
Hey, Google. Turn it to 2.
Okay, go on. We're rolling.
Hey guys.
We're back. How long has it been?
It's only been like 2.5 weeks, but the last episode I did was pretty boring, admittedly. And that's
Pardon.
because I've been. What? I can say what I want. I just haven't really been like breaking into the questions that I really wanted to ask people. So I've got Carl here. Carl Hall is Laura, my wife's cousin, and he lives up in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a really cool dude. And I figured that he would be the perfect candidate for me to challenge myself to make somebody uncomfortable and ask the questions that I want to ask, but that keep me kind of quiet because they stay in my head.
Yes, sir.
So before we get into the meat of it, Carl, tell us who you are. What are you about?
I'm gonna start off and tell you that I was born in Texas, Rockport, and my family had a. Rockport is located in Texas, and down the road, I was raised for a couple years, probably 5 years or so, in Corpus Christi. Then my family decided to move in Tennessee. And then ever since 05, I've been living there ever since.
So like where in Tennessee?
I live in the hometown where Dolly Parton used to live. Her hometown of Sevier County, Sevierville. I work at Dollywood as an airbrush artist. I've been working there ever since 2017. If you happen to see me, say hello to me. I would greet you with the hello and such. You should ask me about my own custom artworks. I could hook you up and talk to you about that. But I am trying to be a successful artist and such, so you should check me out.
Cool.
Oh,
yeah.
There's one piece there.
Which one is that? Which one?
The most bad.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
That's the one that he gave to Laura, and it's like super cool. We actually had this long medium-length conversation earlier about how his art would be perfect for the NFT marketplaces.
Oh, yes. I've been actually considering to do something like that, and it sounds fun.
Yeah.
What I do is I basically sell my own pieces privately if you were to message me or so. But that is as crazy as it gets on that. But basically what people would do is come up to me, and I would actually offer them ideas of like bringing your own shirt and etc. And it gets crazier from there, you know. But what I usually do is airbrush the piece, and then I would give it to a family member or a friend that I know. And it's lightly spreading the word of my own art, but basically I just like creating, and I don't believe I should own everything I make because I don't have all the space. So it's like, have it. And it's like I'm creating as much as possible, you know?
Carl wants to be a prolific artist, and he is one because he makes a lot of stuff. But I want to know even more.
Yes.
Like,
now,
what's up with the hair?
the hair. Okay. Now, these are good questions.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't grown my hair out this long. I usually have it short as possible. I usually get a haircut within every 6 months, but I would say this is past 6 months. This is about almost a year. I think I cut it in probably around my birthday, so that's in February of last year. So we're creeping up to the day where I got the haircut.
Why though?
Why?
I think it looks pretty cool. I'm getting
This is-
sideshow Bob kind of.
Yeah, I usually get the Bob Ross kind of hairdo, you know, like everyone.
No,
everyone
Bob Ross is very tame, very
Everyone. Oh yes.
Yeah, well, it
You
makes
see-
sense. He's super chill.
You see me airbrush, and everyone comes up and be like, "Hey, that's Bob Ross," and I'd be like, I used to get mad, but I really don't care anymore. It's like at least some recognition going on there. But when you develop your own style, I think recently I've been developing my own style and no one's been saying it lately. So I've been doing it correctly, it seems like.
Yeah.
But the reason why I grow my hair, I believe, is because I just haven't grown it this long ever since.
What's the longest it's ever been?
This is pretty much the longest, but other than that, I think is previous when I was a kid, probably when I was 5 years old. I would say that's the longest I ever had it, but again, I was too young as to remembered on that. You know, this is the newest, like this is the new me. This is my new hair. This is like, I'm trying it out.
No,
I
dude,
think
keep it. It's cool.
I think I'm gonna keep it for another 6 more months and see what goes on from there. But it all differs, you know.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
I'm dropping like beer bottles under here, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was like laughing, because he just like, because Carl, before this whole thing started, Carl was like, I want to be ready just in case.
Oh yeah,
need
I was
more
I was
drinks."
very nervous before this, but like I think this
He
is my
didn't
third
say
one.
that. He didn't say that.
I did not.
Really just chilling, talking.
Yeah, it's all chill.
It's okay. I actually get nervous before every podcast recording, and that's like half of why I'm doing it, because I want to stop getting nervous. I want to gain control of my social interactions.
The only way of doing it is doing it over and over and over again. Get better at it, you know.
That's why I'm doing it, man.
You know,
Oh.
game show hosts do it. You know, they do it every day. Steve Harvey. Yeah.
Steve Harvey's weird. He's okay. So he hosts Jeopardy. No, Jeopardy. What's the one where they Family Feud?
Yeah.
He hosts Family Feud, and he's like really popular. He's a black dude. He's like
Oh, the one
he's
with teeth?
yeah.
He has like the mustache is very fluffy.
Yeah,
Looks like you sleep
He's got,
on it.
like, the big eyeballs.
Yeah, big eyeballs. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's cool. He gives good advice. He's like he does like religious injections into things, which is kind of strange.
Yeah,
Like he's the first game show host I've seen who's like, wow.
the crazy thing about him
forget
is
to-
that his eyeballs grow big when like people say the stupidest crap, you know. That's the craziest thing about the show, you know. You know, Naked Grandma, his eyes go like 10 miles long, you know. All right, give me a question, bro.
Yeah. Okay. So, Carl, now that I gotta make you uncomfortable, and you've had a couple of drinks, and let's get to like the core of who you are, and the things that trouble you. Like, okay,
I think my car.
what do you think was? I think that every person has been molded by the traumatic events in their life. They're over there laughing. I think that
traumatic events.
I think that every person has been molded by the traumatic events in their life. What event molded you into the person you are? You're like a really goofy yet charismatic, kind of funny guy.
It's hard to say. I think a couple car wrecks, and not even bad ones. I haven't been injured, but like those things, they set me in life. I think that's the most traumatic in my life. I had a very beautiful, I come up from a beautiful home. My family, my mom and dad are still together. You know, the only drama is, I guess, like if my siblings start doing something crazy, you know, and that's the only thing that's, you know, ever drawn up. But basically it's like easy sailing. I haven't had any problems. I had good grades, again, steady lifestyle.
So what got you into like art originally? Because
So basically, I'm not good at reading, so I have dyslexia, and basically what happens is that I get my letters switched up, and so, but it might sound dumb to say that, but it actually is more than you think. There's actually more to it. It's like not only numbers, but also like little things here or there. But it did hold me back a little bit in school. I would say I was, you know, most people probably be back in the class, reading a book or so. And I'm like back there doodling, you know, like I'm doodling. And then I see some people and it's like, people look at my stuff and they're like, wow, like, holy crap. And I'm like, this is nothing. Like,
when you're
I wish I got better, you know?
So why do you think you were doodling?
I think,
I didn't doodle.
I think it's like if someone had like, I wouldn't say I have ADHD, but it's more of like I needed something to do. So it was something like to
You
take
need-
the edge
you-
off
you
in class.
Do you feel like you need to multitask?
Yes, and not fully. I think it's like I haven't. I think there's been a moment where I fully filled out a whole sketchbook. In other cases like that, I think I wanted to do more like that, but again, the other kids are like playing on their phones or doing other crap, reading or basically
yeah,
other things.
Carl's always making fun of me for being all techie,
Like-
playing with my gadgets and shit.
I only read one book. I think one full book, and it was called The Painted House. And I don't even know who published it, but I read that whole book. I did, succeed in like comprehension skills and such. But again, like I've been struggling to read even new books nowadays. And then like audiobooks are like, all right, it's a tangent on reading, but basically it's like, I think
Yeah, but
when I
why-
started
why do you
doodling, people
doodle?
said
Yeah.
like, you're doing good at doodling. You're doing good. And I was like, I could do better. I could do better. I could show off, like this is the thing I'm good at. And at the time I was actually playing music more than like drawing at the same, like I was
Yeah,
I was-
he made an amazing decision too.
I was playing music before I was like drawing. And that was like in middle school. I was like picking up the guitar, and then like the guitar wasn't as like the guitar was pretty good, and then I was learning bass, a little bit keyboard. I was getting the drums a little bit, but mainly like after a point where I thought I was originally wanting to be a jingles writer, and then I was like,
Yeah.
no, let's not do that. I started doing art classes, and then I was like, I think I see something here. And then like in 2017, again, this is probably like sophomore year in high school, a girl in the art class was like, hey, you should like get a job with me. You should work where I'm working at. I'm a caricature artist. And I said, oh, that sounds great. Let me just do that with you, and that sounds great.
Was that at Dollywood?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She got me an application at Dollywood, and she put her name down so I could get the job immediately, you know what I'm saying? Like the cheat.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to the interview, and he's like, hey, we don't need caricature artists. You said that on your application that you wanted to be an airbrush artist. And I was like, I don't even know what airbrush is. And he's like, no, don't worry. We'll teach you. It looks like your art background, your portfolio. It looks good. I had a sketchbook, had full of drawings in it. And he said, your portfolio looks like an airbrush artist, So we're going to like teach you that. I was like, let's do it. Let's do it.
Cool.
So ever since, and then I remember my first year or two, he was like, oh, we should get you a body paint, face paint, and face paints are for the losers, but not
Why?
really, not
What?
really, not really.
I feel like
not really, not
dude.
really.
All right, so
not
like,
really, not really.
okay, yeah. You're trying not to be too harsh on the face painters, but like, also don't you face?
My
his
my
his
sweet my
girlfriend.
sweet girlfriend Ashton, she face paints.
It's such an artist.
Face painters-
It's such an artist thing to do, to bash on like the inferior art.
But no, that's what the truth is. Like he thought I didn't get airbrush, but he knew that I could get face paint. And I said, no, I could do better in this airbrushing. I could work better, and I got better. So everyone in that
So
field.
you like to challenge yourself.
Oh, absolutely. And after having that talk, I've been sticking to it ever since. And like everyone left, even the main managers left, and I'm like sticking around. I'm like.
So are
there.
you like a manager of airbrushing?
I
now?
am an assistant manager at the airbrush booth.
That's pretty cool. That's super cool. So, do you always see yourself at Dollywood, or would you want to like branch out and do your own thing full time?
I would. I need to do that. I really do need to consider a side deal where it's like I get my own trailer and such. But I would say, safe to say, I have a steady job. I could count on it. It's what brings in the money that I need, what I have. Everything I have is what I need. Basically, this job is a safe thing. I love my job. And I can tell you, everyone out there, that my job, I love it so much. I love my job.
I mean, he lives in a really beautiful place. I don't know if you guys have ever been to I know that I only have like 25 people who watch this thing, but I don't know if you've ever been to Sevierville or like the Smoky Mountains, but
It is the number
so
one place.
gorgeous.
Number one place to visit on Earth. Is the number one place they said. It's the most. Again, I grew up in a touristy town where I remember there was fields where there was nothing. And they considered that still a touristy town when there was like, I remember there was certain fields that had nothing in it. And there you see like a Hobby Lobby. I remember the closest Hobby Lobby was in Knoxville. Now they have a Hobby Lobby like right next door. You know, like I remember where there was only a McDonald's, a KFC, and a Taco Bell. That was it. That was in my hometown, Sevierville. Now, at the touristy part would have been Pigeon Forge, and what mainly brought everything there would have been Dollywood, which where I work at. Big surprise. But also, like car shows. They would have a lot of car shows. They would have all kinds of stuff going on there. You want to ask me a question?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I want to ask you another question for sure. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. You know, I'm just gonna I'm gonna ask the questions that are in my head. Okay, Carl.
Thank you.
Do you think these are very random questions that just
Do
come
it.
through my head? Carl, do you think that you're capable of murdering another human being?
I was okay. Everything I'm going to say from here is just hypothetical.
It's all hypothetical, dude.
Hypothetical?
We're just answering.
We're going to say hypothetical. I remember hearing some ways to doing it. Honestly, I cannot do it myself.
The Breaking Bad method? You know?
I feel like, honestly, I would turn myself in because of all that guilt. I have guilt of like stealing little things or
because
something.
he had such a wholesome upbringing, dude. His family is so nice.
I could get away. Hypothetically, I could get away with it. But understanding that my true heartedness is there. It's fully there. There's like things that I even mention. I'd be like, don't forget to do this. Because it's like, honestly, it's in my heart to even say something about it. And if I were to, and if I got in trouble for it, I understand that I had to say it in the first place. It's like my true consciousness is like there. But if I were to get away with it, hypothetically, are you asking how I would do it?
Yeah, dude. Let's find out. Let's get into it. How would you get away with murder?
Hypothetically, what would happen is...
Keep this on record just in case.
So, there's so many ways, but really, you could poison someone and get away with it. Literally as is, you know.
You don't think that would come up in the autopsy?
I think it's like, have you seen Breaking Bad? Is exactly like that. You feed someone a flower off a plant and boom. You know, they're sick and they can't find the symptom, you know?
Right, they don't know the source. If it's a natural thing that you plucked off a plant somewhere.
That's one way, hypothetically. Another hypothetical way, if you were to accidentally kill someone and then like you don't know what to do, there's ways of doing it. People like drive in the desert. I would say a good bet is, I wouldn't say go to the ocean. I think it resurfaces. But the best thing you could do is go in the woods, get a dead dog, and then you bury the body like 9 feet down. And then above that, 6 feet up, you bury the dog. And then you close it off and you plant a seed on top of that, like a tree seed. Or plant a tree. So it's a lot of work, but
that way all the nutrients get mixed up and everything.
Yes, it's all hypothetical though.
That kind of makes me wonder, what kind of conspiracy theories are you like kind of in agreement with?
But okay, wait. Before you ask that question,
I already asked it. It's out there.
Wait. I'm not fully finished. There's so many things from witnesses and people trying to find you. You got to realize that, like, there's a footprint or fingerprint somewhere, you know what I'm saying? And you cannot catch all the deeds, but you have to pull it off correctly, you know what I'm saying? From text messages, from people that see your friends, family.
Well, yeah, obviously. It's not easy. There was this...
It is easy if people don't care about who you kill.
Well, I read about
You
this,
have to drop off the face of the earth too. If you're like,
But if you're killing like a homeless person, no one's gonna give a fuck.
you have to
Do you
come
wanna
up with
come
a
sit here?
you have to come
No.
up with a great alibi to make it work. You got to be like, I haven't seen this person in months, you know, like, but that also draws you attention. It's all like, it's just like the show, or not a show. It's something related, you know.
So, like, speaking of alibis, my professor told me that somebody somebody walked into her class once, a police officer walked into her class and said, hey, like, so-and-so, can I talk to so-and-so? And they were like, yeah. So they went and talked to so-and-so. Apparently there was a crime committed. But because she has them fill out their name with a pen and ink, like, you know, then it's a legal document. So if you're in class and you signed in your name with pen and ink,
It's an alibi, yeah.
it's an alibi. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna go sign this paper. So yes.
Well, you always want to
Right.
keep
Just
your.
in case you commit a
You
murder.
also want to keep your receipts too. It's also weird because, like, I seen so many stories where, like, I went to a movie that night. You know, that's also an alibi.
Going to a movie, yeah. Yeah, he keeps all his receipts. I know the
Oh
truth
yes,
is just that
Fetch.
What's it called?
Fetch.
Fetch.
Fetch is an app. I'm not. There's no advertisement, but
Yeah.
yeah.
We keep on accidentally advertising, but it's okay. We use products because this is a consumer
Hey,
country,
you're gonna see
and we
where-
consume
where-
everything. But so Fetch is like this cool thing. You like upload your receipt, and
Yeah, but
you
like
get some
it's
sort of
another
refund.
way.
I don't
good
use
way
it,
of
but
keeping
he
up
uses
with
it.
your receipts. Yeah.
I heard that he made $200 last year, but that's a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of work. And so, like, how much per hour do you think that was? Probably, if you spent 30 hours on it, or let's make it easy, 20 hours on it, and it's $200. That's $10 an hour. So, I guess,
I think it's like you do it along the way, and it's just a bonus.
yeah.
That's how everything works. Because after after a time or so, I would say, because like after doing those points and deals, I got a surprising thing. I got a big ass fan that it cools me at night.
Right.
You know, it's a standing up fan. It's a tower fan. It oscillates for me. I have a remote for it. You know, like it's a bonus in life, and I don't have to worry about that.
Dude, I just gotta say, the coolest thing to me about Carl is how much pleasure he gains out of like simple things. He may always have like a game plan for like what he aims to do in his head, but along the way he stops and smells the roses and he enjoys everything. And I'm so jealous of that because I can't do that. Every time I get something, I'm like,
Much
"All right,
appreciate
next,
this, Chris. This
next."
is the most nicest things I've ever heard in my life. You've ever spoken to me.
It's pretty cool. It's enviable. Yeah, we're too goal oriented.
I think a great example, Chris right here just got a dog like recently, like Luna.
I don't
He
know if you
just got
guys
a
saw
dog.
Luna,
Yeah,
who is asleep on the floor.
he just got a dog.
Yeah,
And
she has kind of we adopted her from someone who was giving her away for free because they acknowledged that they were neglecting her because they're a trucker and they just weren't paying attention to her and kind of left her outside all the time, and I guess they felt bad. She's a really sweet dog. You may have seen her earlier. She's just super cool. She loves the baby loves her, and she gets massive separation anxiety. Like, she's asleep on the floor right now because we left earlier for like quite a lot of the day, and she was, rather than like taking a nap or anything, she was just tearing everything up in the house because she was stressed out and she was trying to get through the window in my office so she could see where I was outside. She was clawing at the front door, so she's a handful, but we'll get her there. She's cool. You guys might see more and more of her. She's a husky doodle, but right now she kind of looks like what are those? Greyhounds. Yeah, she kind of looks like a greyhound because we had to shave her because she had a bunch of fleas.
which basically, to put more input in that, I remember like when the dog got here, and then everyone was freaking out, like, "Oh, we got to give her a bath. You know, she smelled like poop, and she smelled like shit." And then we had like run to Walmart, buy all the dog necessities, dog food and such. And I see Chris with the buggy. He's freaking out. He's like, "Oh man, like I can't believe this is happening. I got a dog, and I don't know what to do. Like, I really don't know what to do." And I'm telling them, "Hey man, no worries. We'll just get him a toy. We get her a toy. We get her food. We get her everything. We get her a dog bed. You know, don't worry. Well, we all get it here. We'll get her some treats and such. You know, she needs it, you know." So we get all the stuff, and I get home. He's like, "Dude, you made that so relaxed. Thank God. You know, you made it so, you know."
He did make it easier. He made it.
Yeah.
It's not
He's
super.
like, "Thank you
it's
for
'cause
coming to the store with me."
I haven't. So when I was like 5 years old, I had a dog for like a couple weeks, I think, or a month or whatever. My mom will probably correct me if she sees this, but not very long. We had this dog named Sydney, and then she went to a farm. Pretty sure she got hit by a car like instantly.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm laughing. I think I'm laughing at it, like,
But yeah, so Sydney went to the farm, and yeah, that's kind of like the last time I had a dog, and I was like, I have a dog.
I remember you talking about that. I was
Yeah.
like, "Shoo-wee, man.
Yeah.
Pobrecita."
Yeah. But now I got this dog, and I'm gonna take care of her. And
Thank you, my
she's
honey.
already obsessed with me, which is pretty sweet. So
Continue, please.
let's ask Carl some more difficult questions.
Please.
Okay, Carl. What? Well, this may not be so difficult after all. It's just a question about you. What's up with your style? Like, what made you so interested in developing your own style aesthetically?
Okay.
You're all about clothing, photos, and all that.
That is true. I got to tell you, what all originates, I think, is because people overthink what's going on in their lives. They think it's all about the clothes, it's all about that. But you got to also see that everything could be done with a budget and correctly be done. I think all my clothes originate from Goodwill, or I make it myself, or I've been holding on to it since. All these things contribute to my style. I got these pants at Hammers. That's a local shop that I have, and I probably spent $20 on it, probably more than usual. That's more than usual. It's $20. This shirt I got it from my roommate, and he got it as a present or so, and he's like, I outgrew it. And I always picture myself, I would never wear anything like that. But everyone says, "Carl, you know how to pull it off. You know how to pull off a fashion statement. You know how to do it."
What, the Tennessee sweater?
Yeah, the Tennessee sweater. I'm representing. Like, literally, I looked at this and I said, I'll never wear this in a million years. But I found out it's very cozy.
It looks like it.
It's very cozy. I appreciate it.
And then the gold.
Yeah.
The gold on your wrists.
I appreciate
You
it. No, and
accessorize.
you got to see. People might think you spend a lot of money on this. I got this as a Christmas present, my baby here. But right here, this is a Casio watch, affordable. So
Casio
you know,
is dope, dude.
Casio is
brand.
affordable for everyone you see and know. There's other things like this is also my girlfriend's, but she also it's just a gold chain. Again, not like I'm reusing an item that pretty much every person owns. You just reuse the item and kind of deal. This is a nice bracelet I bought. Probably it was like $7 or something. I don't know. Again, everything has to do. I wear a windbreaker. That thing costs like $6, and I found that at Goodwill. And it's like you could track it from the 80s or 90s. Again, you just got to envision yourself wearing it, even though it's on a crappy coat hanger in Goodwill. But there is value in it. You got to see what's happening. You got to see what's going on. Exactly. It's being a badass, you know? Again, you got to look at it like you got to see yourself in it. That's one of them. Another thing is, who cares what other people think?
Absolutely. I
You know?
agree.
What happens is I talk to a burly ass Texan man wearing the outfits I do, and I'd be like, there's no shame in my masculinity. I hold my girlfriend's hand. You know, like there's nothing wrong. I think these people just need to get off their high chair.
Literally, didn't you like the smell of urine? Or something?
Yeah, he liked the smell of urine. He loved the smell
Oh,
of cow
dude.
shit.
Okay, so I think I already mentioned Carl and his girlfriend are visiting from Tennessee. They're here for like 7-10 days, and we're pretty far into that 7 to 10 days. So they've seen quite a bit of North Texas where we live, and it's pretty cool. And one thing they checked out was the stockyards.
Oh yeah, we saw a cow show. First time seeing a cow show. That was really good, but I wish I was balls because I would appreciate it 1,000 times more. But it was good enough. It was good enough.
That kind of
It
makes
was
me
good
wonder
enough.
what's your biggest regret?
My biggest regret, I have none on that case. But are you talking about biggest regret in general?
Yeah, in life, dude. Not for the 7 days that you.
I think there's some little nitpicky stuff, but at this point, when I look back, I have nothing to regret on. Maybe it'd be a food option choice, you know, I wish like what happens is I get 2 combos and I forget to switch one of the drinks to a shake.
That's
you know?
those are big regrets in your life.
Those are like the big ones, but not really. It's like that's all I could think of right now. If I could think of that, I don't think I have big ones.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So you've never really like, well, I can't say never, but
I wish I had more knowledge
at the
about
moment,
other stuff.
at the moment when you're knowledge, so education is.
No,
But
like,
you are
education can be taught in a lower scale, no, or a bigger scale. Like, if I want to buy a house, you know, these things are like things they need to teach in school because they have none of that.
You
I
like
had
the
to find it
spark
my own.
notes. You like the spark notes education, like rather than getting like the full macro microeconomics, like, oh, these are the principles of how this thing is applied in real life. You just want to know, like, I'm buying a house. What do I need to know?
Yes, no. I'm graciously thankful for my girlfriend. She could tell me everything about it. There's just options and choices. I don't know if I can make them correctly at this moment. I do give myself more time. Purchasing a house is a big step, and in some cases, like there's a money pit. There is the house stock, you know, the housing market crashing, you know. And if that happens, I could keep my head afloat. But what is the truest, best options currently? Because I don't know.
So, would you call yourself sheltered?
I would say so, somewhat.
You think that's kind of why you like you have general ideas of how things are, but you don't necessarily know the specifics that are needed to make like educated decisions on stuff.
Exactly,
It's like-
exactly.
Like
You know-
your parents kept you away from the tough stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, my parents, they're very beautiful people. They don't make me worry about anything. I could drop down crying about it right now. But they're very beautiful people. They're very, I haven't experienced trouble. I lived in a very beautiful home. You know? It's like my beautiful neighborhood. There's no trouble. There's no gunshots.
Oh,
Trust me.
he says
to
that
God,
because there are
you know?
gunshots every night in my neighborhood.
Yeah, and not only like in this neighborhood, like, you know, mi tío Paco's house, you know, like there's gunshots and you hear that gunshot and I'd be like, I thought that were fireworks, you know, like how innocent, like I think that, you know, it's like it happens. My home is so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I know it's funny and terrible at the same time. Because we had to pause Netflix like an hour ago to see if there was like gunshots like down the road.
Oh, it's true.
It's true.
And
it's true.
but like the thing is, I ignore them. I don't even care because I know that I stay inside and my doggy's inside now. And I think that worst case scenario, a stray bullet falling from the sky could hit one of my solar panels, but that's covered by my homeowner's insurance, so I'm like, it'd be annoying. Bullets are scary, dude. Are you kidding me?
No,
They can't really go through walls like that.
I do understand him.
Walls no, but-
I do understand them. It's the feeling what I had on that couch when that was going on. I had a feeling like one little BB would go through this window. I just had to duck lower enough where it was not in my range. But that was because like I was picturing more future incidences. You know, I don't know if like they were close on by or so, but it's more of like
Well, if
it was far enough, I was
it's
okay, you
it's
know?
super unlikely that there would be a drive-by or something in this neighborhood. But if there were one, this is not the house that you have to
Oh
worry
yeah.
about.
Chris will tear down someone's door to like get that man.
No, I won't. I'll stay in my house.
And that'd be true, you know.
Hmm.
Ask me another question.
Okay, let's get at Carl a little bit more here. Carl, tough questions. Let's see. What are you most afraid of?
There's a lot of things that I was afraid of, and it changes. One of them was dying, but that's I don't know if that's everyone else's fear, but I feel like my fear is, you know, it could be any other fear. You know, losing your job. You know, your car totally like fucking up.
Those are minor though. Like what is the thing that what motivates you to keep going every day so that it doesn't happen?
I don't know. It's like if someone busts down my door, if like cops bust down my door, you know, arresting me, I guess that is like a big downer. You know, like shit like that. Like my freedom. I appreciate my freedom. Stuff like that. If I was put in jail, I would never want to go to jail, and that is a fear of mine. I would try
Jail,
to.
okay, that's a good fear.
So you know, I would tell you guys.
Imprisonment.
If I have 3 more points on my license, I lose it. And I'm scared of that.
I mean, dude, you
those-
shouldn't be afraid of that.
Those things do terrify me. So what I do, if I'm driving, I'm still looking out for those cops. I'm trying my best to stay away from trouble. And that trouble still creeps around that corner.
You're afraid of imprisonment. You're afraid of someone taking away your freedom.
Exactly.
But does it kind of stress you out in the back of your mind knowing that somebody has the power to take away your freedom?
That is the thing. I believe you have a God-given right to do. I don't know if it's anarchism.
Oh, anarchism.
Exactly. I believe that you should do things that you want, but have like a sense of. I don't even know if that is, but some moral innocence.
Yeah. I think I don't know if that's exactly what
It is in the
anarchism
title of do
is.
whatever you want, but
But
there should be
I get
like
what you
a
mean.
moral.
Like, for example, I've said before, and I'll say it again. Like, if there is something I want to do and it isn't going to hurt anybody, and it's illegal, I'll do it anyway because I don't care. It's for me. I don't inflict pain on anyone else, and whatever I want to do is me. And I mean,
And the only thing you're addicted to is caffeine.
yeah, I am super addicted to caffeine, and that's not illegal yet. So
You know, caffeine's a hell of a drug. You know what I'm saying?
caffeine is
And it's
intense.
good. It's okay.
Carl's witnessed our caffeine addiction. this
Yeah,
week.
no, but like I could tell you, I've been trying to express to them, if you haven't had caffeine in 3 months, like it would be
He's
a
saying we
very
need-
opening mind.
He's saying we need to take a tea break from caffeine. But dude, tea breaks are hard.
Now I
think you
want to
know-
hear you. I
think
can,
you
I
know
can
a
tell you
thing.
that. I can tell you that 100%.
Yeah,
You know,
those first few days are kind of stressful.
I could tell you willpower could do something, you know?
I did it when I was pregnant, but I was allowed to.
Like caffeine for myself, I was hooked on it for a minute. I think it's because of Publix.
The
Publix,
grocery store.
yeah, the grocery store Publix. What happens is they have their deals on cold brew.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Yeah. I have cold brew in the fridge, and I guess that's before we leave. We'll drink that. It's pre-mix, But what I usually buy is the unmixed. It's the pure cold brew. What I do is mix it myself. And my favorite mix is the ice cream. What is it called? International Delights ice cream creamer. I would mix that with any coffee that I got on sale that day. And I would drink that shit every morning before I go to work. And I used to drink that religiously. Like I would full on, but it got to a point where I just leaned off and I had 2 public cold brew containers in my refrigerator.
How long
and
ago
they were
was that?
expired.
How long ago was that?
I would say I was on a coffee binge for probably 6 months or so. I think ever since I moved into my apartment, from that length to the 6-month length, I would say before December or so, November.
I was trying to draw a correlation between that drink and like your weight loss, because Carl used to be way heavier and now he's in better shape.
I could tell you more reasons. How I lost my weight, it had to do with a lot of things. I lost around 60 pounds. I would say 58 pounds to 60 pounds I lost. And how I did that all, it has to do with a lot of muscles, mental strength. It has to do with a lot of planning. It has to do with a lot of things. People don't know, but planking does a lot. 1 minute, twice a day, morning and night. When you wake up, when you get up, before I even drink coffee, I do a 1 minute plank. And then before going to bed, I know it seems tiredness, but I do a 1 minute plank then. So you're doing 2 minutes a day. It does add up. But when you're at work too, I be working, and I work at airbrush stand, and I'm at that counter. I'm doing about 10 counter push-ups. 10 counter push-ups every hour to every other hour. And this is when I was very into it. And then you just got to learn to not care what other people say, because I had people across the booth. I had people at the games. They look at me and they're saying, look at that guy. Like, and they would make fun of me.
But were they actually saying that? Because
they weren't making fully fun of me, but they were gesturing like I was doing these counter push-ups while I was doing them. Like, these are like the side jokes that
I don't know, man. I feel like
No, we saw them.
they really
We saw them like
were like doing that.
Yeah,
Man,
they
what
would
are
do
you-
that.
that's messed up, dude.
They would do that, but
That's pretty childish.
the whole point I'm trying to tell you guys is to ignore that shit and just do it. Because guess what? You're benefiting yourself more than they're benefiting themselves. You know? Because I do it. I also do other kinds of exercises. I do the twists.
You're saying haters gonna hate.
Yes, exactly. And guess what? Those haters, I want to tell you straight to your face. Those haters, you won't see them again next year because they got upgraded or they quit. Okay? That's the two thing.
no, it's true.
It is so true. They leave.
It's true because like I see girls that like work out, you know, and they like
You want to talk over here? It's because I don't. Laura keeps talking, and I don't know that you guys are gonna be able to hear her.
If they can hear me, then you can cut me off and you can just skip this part.
Mm.
But
Can we take a pause by any chance?
Yeah. Go
I
do
need
what
a-
you gotta do.
I need to use El Baño.
No, that's cool.
yeah, no, I've seen fuck 'em.
Exactly where she's coming from. I could tell you. The people that did make fun of me, the doing it, they're also great people too. You know, it's just
It's just them feeling self-conscious.
exactly. You just got to find that doing it is like better than not doing it. That's like the best thing.
All right,
Ask me a
Carl.
question.
What's your most embarrassing moment? Okay, let me rephrase that. When you're showering, occasionally, I know that there's a moment that flashes through your head occasionally, and you're like, God, why did I do that? Why did I say that? I do that. She does that. She probably does that. Yeah, everyone does it.
I feel bad for shit that I did.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the most embarrassing moment?
I don't
It is very hard to explain because there's like things that I find embarrassing that other people don't.
Yeah.
I could
Those
say
moments that you're like, oh, why did I do
I say
that? But nobody remembers.
an old high school YouTube channel would get me really cringed out.
I love that. He has a high school YouTube channel, and that's dope. And they did like sketches, and we were actually talking about how we want to do a sketch while he's in town. Yeah, we're going to do a sketch.
All right, for the people that are out there, this is the first time ever. But if you guys interested in looking at it, it's called Extreme Forever 3. That's all I'm gonna give you on that. You find it yourself. You should find me.
It's Carl in high school.
But I do have other embarrassing moments. I remember doing my first talent show. I do remember I felt great about it.
Wait, I got to
but
know
I
about
found
the
it
talent
very
show, though.
cringy looking back at it.
Well, tell me about the talent show.
I had a 3-song set list and it was not played fully. I only played riffs and then that was it. It was played publicly. You did? It was only riffs. And people were freaking out. Ah, oh my God. He played a Weezer song. Ah, he played the most famous Weezer song.
And you just played the guitar?
Yeah, and then not only the guitar, I had my buddy Chase Lawson play the drums. So, like, play the drums with me.
But you didn't have a singer? Oh,
No, it was just
No.
riffs, man.
Hit
It
me
was
up
just
next time you're in
riffs.
high school playing, and I'll try.
It was middle school, so it was a little junior, you know?
Yeah. No,
Junior
that's
league.
sick, dude. The girls go wild for the guitar guy in middle school.
Yeah, it was a Weezer song. And
Old
a
Weezer goes hard.
Jimi
Let's make that
Hendrix
distinction.
song, and it was like, I don't know if it was a Red Hot. I couldn't remember.
Dude, the Chili Peppers also went hard back in the day. We saw them live at Bonnaroo. They kind of hold up. They're obviously like older. Green
Oh, you
Day
saw
we saw
them.
live. Oh man, dude, they're too old now.
I remember you saying Green Day. I've never been a Green Day kind of person.
I liked Dookie. For watchers out there, listen to the album Dookie.
We were at the beginning of rock and roll, and they were fresh and cool.
What Green Day? Well, okay, so when I was in
Babe.
6th grade, American Idiot came out, and I thought it was fun at the time, but it got trashed by all real Green Day fans,
you.
and that's because they changed their style. They did like a 180. So I listened to American Idiot, and I liked it, but I also liked Dookie. So just because a band changes their style doesn't mean they're suddenly bad or they're trash. It just means that they're experimenting, and maybe their fan base is going to be more dynamic.
Okay, Chris. I'm gonna stop you there. What is your favorite rapper?
Like of all time, we already talked about this. I told you my favorite rapper of all time, Eminem, without a doubt.
All right, stop there. What is your favorite artist? What is your favorite musician? Ever.
Like band or like, well, obviously the Beatles I think are the most influential band of all time.
Really, the Beatles?
They're the most influential.
You know, back in the day, they used to be called the boy band at that time.
Yeah, and they're the most influential because they developed and they advanced their style, and they were a little boy band, and then Rubber Soul came out,
Hey,
and
can you give me another?
that
one
was
of
their
these?
little stoner album, and then over time they started doing more and more drugs and trying more and more things and experimenting more and more with their music and traveling the world with their fame and picking up influence from everywhere they went, and they changed music forever by doing that. And in fact, they were changing their music so much and so frequently that their record label had no idea what the hell they were doing with their sound. They
I
thought it was
understand that.
crazy. They thought it was crazy, but they had to trust the Beatles
Sir?
because it was the Beatles.
Sir, I know what you're talking about. I played the Beatles rock band. I know what you're talking about.
Oh,
sir.
nice. Yeah. That's
yeah,
good.
I can flex on that.
I think that a similar band today that isn't they have a very popular following, but they're not really viewed in the same light, though they may be in the future, is King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, dude.
You know, I saw them in live in concert
What-
one time.
Did you see? They've been really
No.
on their punk sound.
I need to
lately.
tell you guys, I admire King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard. I'm going to tell you this, that the crazy thing about that is because I saw them recently, and I did not expect what I was getting myself into. They released another album right before we even showed up, and it was a moshing punk rock kind of like sound they were doing. It was more moshing. It was more heavy metal.
Which which album?
I cannot remember. Again, it's
Oh, okay.
Omnium Gathering. It was right before it.
No, I because when we saw them, they played Infest the Rat's Nest,
Oh, really?
which is their most punk album.
Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm more of the indie side. I'm going to tell you guys, my favorite artist is Mac DeMarco and Tame Impala. Those are my two favorite artists, all time kind of deal. And I'm going to tell you guys that their heavy punk is like, I did not settle for it because I was wanting them to play more indie, more relaxed. They did play it, but while I was there at the concert, this is other than the first time I ever went to a heavy metal concert. I went to a moshing concert, and then this is when their first time in moshing, you know. And the only thing that I got benefit from it, other than some mother effer having hair sweat in my motherfucking mouth, like I almost hurled. But other than that, I moved my way to the front. And I don't know how that happens, but only the way of moshing, okay? When they moshed, we moved our way up. And we were seeing them front and centered. I remember this guy, he's holding on to the railing. He had earplugs in, but he was listening to it like if it was like at home, you know?
Yeah.
And this guy was not giving up the bar, okay? We're trying to hold on that bar. And that guy, he was jabbing elbows. I remember he was jabbing in my girlfriend, like jabbing. He's like, why the fuck are they here? And I was getting pissed. I was like, damn, this is for everyone, you know? But in that case, that's because they were moshing. And I did not sign up for moshing, okay? So that's how we got there. And the opener sucked. Thank God we don't remember the names on that.
The openers for who sucked? Remember?
King Gizzard. Now, I remember Tame Impala had the best openers I ever seen in my life. That was the best opener I ever seen. And I never heard of him. It was Automatic.
Hey. Oh yeah, Automatic is cool though.
Yeah, I showed him Automatic,
Um,
and he showed me a European man named, what was it?
They're Turkish. Altan Gun.
Altan Gun. I heard a minute of that. I was like, holy crap, I need to listen more of that. But I, in the receiving end, or I don't even know how to correctly say that, but when I showed him Automatic, like in my end, when I saw Tame Impala live, Automatic was like really good. And he said, I listened to this in a minute, you know, like it sounds great.
All right. Do you want me to keep asking you some tough questions?
Keep on going, bro. We got so much time.
In fact, we have until we die.
Hey, you guys have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Keep on going.
This is what makes it good. You know, you get to cut out what you don't like.
Yeah,
You
man.
get to add
Yeah,
more.
we'll do cuts. We'll do like jumps. Hey, Carl, how much would it take for someone to shave your head, like money wise? How much, like fully shave your head, like like 00?
Have you ever bald? Like down to the bone?
Yeah. I asked myself just now, $100, no. $200, maybe.
That was going on inside.
$250,
I've shaved
300 sounds better. 400 sounds great. $500, you sold me.
Okay, what about $200 and we donate it to charity?
I would be up for it.
What about $5 and we donate?
Dude, so Chris,
Hard sigh.
because Chris cut off all his hair last year and donated it, and I've shaved his head twice.
So
That's so
Laura
good.
is saying that I shaved my, or like, yeah. So last year I donated my hair.
All of it.
I'm growing it back out right now.
17 inches.
I'm on the fence because I want to donate it again, but I also feel like having long hair is kind of cool, and like I'm lucky. Yeah,
You know,
I
you
do.
gotta.
I could
you
use a
got-
trim. I could use.
I
a little
would say use it up because other people. I've been riding trams. I've been riding buses. In that,
Like today?
No. No, like today, yes, of course, but like I'm talking about at work. At
Come over
work.
here. You want to sit here? You're trying to.
At work, I'll be riding that bus, and people on the bus will be like, "Your hair, I used to have hair like that," and I'd be like, "Sometimes this is annoying. This is annoying to keep up
Who
with."
has hair like that?
Yeah, you don't know, and then we don't know until we're like 40 years later. It's like it's a passion.
We're never gonna lose our hair. We have Estrada genes.
Estrada, and that was a name that my dad was telling me to consider to use. And when
Estrada.
signing my paintings or art, he says, Estrada is
Estrada.
Estrada. It's the EST, Estrada.
We're fucking Estrada, bro.
When he slid up on my Snapchat and I like went and looked at him online, I was like, it's the lips. That's it.
It's the lips.
That's it. I'm trying to kiss it.
It's the lips. My cuz, she got the lips.
Yeah.
You know, we got the
All right,
lips.
So everyone knows big lips are smoochable. That's cool.
No, but everything about the Estrada genes. Like, I love my dad. Don't get me wrong. I love my dad. But there's something about the Estrada genes. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, my dad says that, like, they feared my mom's brothers. Her 5 brothers. Everyone knew who that family was. Like, they weren't rich or anything, but, like, everybody, like, all over the little towns, they knew not to fuck with them. They didn't have anything on anybody, but they were just, like, tall, beautiful women, like, curly hair, and two of them had, like, straight hair, but everybody else was, like, beautiful. Like, my mom's, like, the shortest, like, she's pretty, but, like, all the other ones were, like,
Nobody can hear Laura, but she's dumping on short people right now.
I'm short too.
She's
but-
pretty short. I'm pretty short. Our little girl is pretty short.
I think I'm taller than you. I think
I'm
I'm
5'8".
I'm 5'11". Almost
Carl is taller.
6 foot. Almost 6
Yeah.
foot.
No, people.
I would say,
like,
do the hair up, be 6 foot.
And I'm the shortest one of the Braulio Cardi. I'm short.
Oh, you're the shortest one? I thought Braulio was like shorter. Even Carelli would be the shortest one.
No, they're both taller.
What?
Yeah.
Carelli's shorter than you?
She's taller than me. I'm the shortest one. I'm like the shortest one.
Yep.
That's info. That's
and
some
my
info.
dad based on the idea telling Scarlett how short she is. You're so short.
Bah.
Oh,
Bruh.
you're like you get Sherry. He loves
Mhm.
saying that. He loves saying that she looks like Sherry.
She doesn't. She looks like me.
No, but it's funny because it's like, Dad, how do you want her to be tall? Like, we're both short. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, Dad.
Christopher, what is your most embarrassing moment?
Yes.
Ooh. Yeah. No. Yeah. Ask me questions. That's cool. It really is. It would have to be some of the moments from college. I made a major fool of myself numerous times in college. There are like so many. It's almost difficult to recount a single one. Yeah, no, it's tough to recount a single one. Well, if I just think about one, it's not really truly my most embarrassing moment.
What happens if I have to stop you right here to go to the bathroom?
You can do that. Gives me time to think about it.
Okay, what is your most embarrassing story? Please tell me. I want to hear about it.
Okay, Carl, I'll answer your question. Okay, so I remember my most embarrassing story. Carl just peed a minute ago, and that gave me a second to like think about my
Yes.
most embarrassing story.
Good.
And now I remember it. And I would say that like the most shame that I felt from a situation was in high school. There was this chick who I thought was cute. Met her at a party. Her name was. Her name was Kinsey Love. Her last name was Love.
Love, that's such a fucking fake name.
No, it's legit. It's a real name. Anyway, yeah. But
Did you see her ID?
but she's not cool. Anyway, she could be now. Who knows? But anyway, so her name was Kinsey Love, and she met her at a party at a friend's place. She was kind of talking about her situation, about how abusive her parents were and how bad everything was at home, and how she just needed a place to escape to. And I was a senior in high school, and I was like, you can come stay at my place. And she was like, that's not gonna be a big deal, like, you don't think your parents will care? And I was like, no, it's fine, you can stay in my room. It's fine. Like, I don't think it's cool for you to be in an abusive place. And she was like, thanks so much. And then she I don't think she even had a car. Yeah, she didn't have a car. So I went and I picked her up, and she loaded her trash bags of crap into my trunk. And then we drove back to my house, and I unloaded all her stuff into my bedroom, like the little white knight wannabe that I was. And I let her crash in my room, and I gave her the majority of my bed, and I just kind of stuck to my corner. Oh, so stupid, man. But anyway, about a week of that goes on, and my mom, and I'm driving her to work, and hanging out with her too, and just whatever. I drove her to get a tattoo from some random guy in a house.
A scratcher?
Yeah.
Bro.
She comes from an abusive family.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so stupid,
Sounds
dude.
like I'm gonna do that
Anyway,
right
after about a week of hanging out with her, my mom's like, why do I keep seeing this chick? And she doesn't say it that way, but she's a little confused about the fact that this girl is all of a sudden around me all the time and is never seen without me. And then one day my mom goes to my room to clean, but I think she's really snooping a bit because she's curious. And she finds all of that girl's belongings in my room. And I think she may have found that girl. I can't remember. But anyway, she was I got home. She didn't say anything, and I got home from whatever. I think I was at school or at work or something like that. And I got home, and my mom was like, "Hey, Chris, can I come talk to you? Or can you come talk to me for a second?" And she was very calm, and she was like, How long has that girl been living here? And dude, I almost pooped my pants. That was a very embarrassing moment. I was like, what have I been doing? Why have I been letting someone? It's the weight of how stupid it was for me to let someone live in my house without talking to my mom, and live in my room and sleep in my bed. It hit me all at once. And I don't know. That was just a really, really embarrassing moment. I couldn't believe it. What's going on?
Oh, nothing.
There were so many hand signals.
I'm so sorry, Chris. I dropped some beer on your mic.
Oh, it's probably okay. You can remove those just to make sure that.
Hello? Hello? How you
Well,
doing?
did any liquid get on the actual microphone?
No. It's just this microphone pad, Tried wiping it.
Oh, that's fine, dude. These are $1 each.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah,
It smells like beer.
If you take this off, you can see the condenser element for the microphone is actually suspended in the air within this cage. So there's no need for a pop filter or anything.
Question. Why do you like Modelo? It tastes like shit.
The answer to that question is, I don't really like it. I will drink it.
Is it because everyone likes it?
I don't dislike it. I will drink it because I often buy it because it's cheap, and Laura's family drinks it.
I see. It's
And-
cheap and Laura
and
drinks it.
Yeah, they if they come over, if
I
they
can tell
come
you.
over, I want to be able to say, "Hey, do you want a beer?" And them not like recoil in
Yeah.
disgust.
Toda la familia toma toda esta cerveza. They, if you understand me, I'm saying that every Mexican drinks this.
He said, "If you know, you know."
This is all right, but not really. It tastes like
But the real answer to your question should be, any beer will grow on you if you drink it frequently. And
I
when
do
I first
understand
started
that.
dating Laura, her dad was a Modelo guy.
What is your favorite beer?
I don't have a favorite beer.
No, bull crap.
I love all beer. I really
Bull
do.
crap.
I've been really on the Juicy Haze IPA. Is that Deep Ellum? I don't know. I've been into IPAs a lot lately because they are able to contain so many citrusy flavors. But I also have slowly been getting more into sours because you can get literally any flavor in a lactose
I think
sour.
sours have a pronounced
It's
feeling.
a
it's
tarty.
pronounced-
It's a tart flavor.
I think it's like after you drink beers, you would want to drink sours. I think this beer, I'm going to tell you guys, does not taste good. I'm going to tell you my favorite beer is Bud Light.
That's horrible, dude. That's
Bud
honestly
Light
really
is
sad.
because it doesn't taste as harsh as this.
Yeah, but it literally smells like rotten peanuts if you leave it out for 30
I
minutes.
think it's because it's my first beer I ever had. It's like the milk version of beer.
Do you think that your nostalgia gets in the way of your progress?
Yes. I could tell you guys that I drive an '05 Chevy Impala. I could tell you guys that. I could tell you that I told you recently that I told you that car problems are a thing. There's some car problems that I have, but not drastically affecting my life currently, but is a downer. There is a coolant leak. There might as well be an oil leak on my vehicle. But guess what? I saw the mechanic 2 weeks ago before coming on this trip. I told him that I wanted these things fixed, and guess what? They're not fixed totally correctly. I called him and said, "Hey, my vehicle is not totally correct. You know, I might have to bring him back in." He said, "That's okay. You just have to see it." Hopefully, at this point, he won't do some more, navigation here. "Oh, you might have some other things you need to fix." Bull crap. I just need those things fixed currently. There's always a car problem, and that's the car problem that I have right now. There's always a car problem, and I'm going to tell you that.
There's always a problem.
there's
in
always a
life.
car
There's always a problem.
There's always a problem, but I'm going to tell you there's always a car problem. And there's always a car problem. And this car problem I could tell you, it could get easier if you fix the problems, but the problems are always there. They're always there. In this case, I try to fix them as much as possible. I love my car. I'm going to tell you guys, my favorite car is that car right there, the Chevy Impala, the '05. I could say that I would like a 6.4. That's unrealistic. I could tell you that.
Why?
They don't make them anymore. Of course.
Oh yeah, I mean, but how many are there out there still around?
If you want to buy the shell, it's $5,000 or so.
Hmm.
For $3,000 to $5,000, it's the shell. No engine, nothing in it. You know, it's just you gotta put some work into it. If you really want the car that you want, you have to buy the car that you want. You know? Yeah.
Hey man, should we wrap this thing up?
Yes.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching the podcast. This is Carl Hall, super cool guy. We've asked some questions. He's asked me some questions. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun. Bye.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. My name is Carl Hall. That you heard it from myself. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you.